Arsenal have got their inverted left back, acquiring the services of Oleksandr Zinchenko for £30 million. It's a signing that could prove to be game changing. And today we're going to break down why exactly that's the case. Has William Saliba agreed a new contract? What's next on the list of targets for Mikel Arteta? And have Arsenal offered a new deal to Bukayo Saka? Yo, what is going on, guys? My name is Bavs14 and welcome back to your boys channel. I hope you guys are doing sensational, and today we have a brand new signing. So smash a like if you enjoy, subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to win the brand new Arsenal away kits, all the details are down below in the description of how to win it. But into the Arsenal transfer news we go, and starting off with our brand new 4th summer signing. 5 if you count Matt Turner, but ultimately Arsenal have been very busy, spending upwards of £120 million, and the latest in the line of players is ex-Man City and now Arsenal's Ukraine international, 4-time Premier League winner and 25 years of age. The peak of his powers, welcome to Arsenal, Oleksandr Zinchenko, as Arsenal confirmed the signing at 6 PM UK time, saying welcome Alex. It has since been confirmed that Zinchenko will also be Arsenal's brand new 35, following in the footsteps of Gabriel Martinelli and before that Mohamed Elneny. The price tag we all know is £30 million, and what we know about this transfer is the importance of the relationship that was already there with Mikel Arteta. Zinchenko is a player that he worked very closely during his time together at Man City. In fact, reports have claimed since then that it was Mikel Arteta's idea to play Zinchenko as the inverted left back, and it was that position where Arteta was able to maximise Zinchenko in a Man City team that would go on to win 4 Premier League titles. And on bringing Zinchenko to the Emirates, he says, "We are so happy that Alex has joined us. He's a player that I personally know really well and continue to follow after my time at Manchester City. Alex is a high quality player who will give us options and versatility." And that relationship is also reciprocated by the player, who when speaking on Arteta says, "I would say it's the most important role in my decision to sign for Arsenal because I've known Mr. for a while. Since the first day at City, I knew that he was going to be a very good manager. But it's not just a relationship, but also the fact that we are a gargantuan institution and Zinchenko is a fan of the club." Saying that, first of all, I'd like to say this is a boyhood dream come true, because I was a massive fan when I was a kid. Since Thierry Henry and a young Cesc Fabregas was playing here, I was enjoying watching those games. Most importantly, he is now officially a player of Arsenal Football Club, and what we're getting here is one of the most versatile players in that left-hand side in the Premier League. Able to play as a left back, as a left midfielder, and also as a left number 8. When asked on his best positions, Zinchenko says, "Wherever the manager is going to see me on the pitches." It's a simple answer, but it's true. Even if the manager tells me one day I need to be a goalkeeper, I will be there. One thing that stands out straight away, apart from the obvious technical quality, is that Zinchenko is a character that is very loved behind the scenes and respected by Arteta. In fact, when speaking about the player, Arteta says, "During his time at Man City, Zinchenko was always the first man arriving in training and always the first one to take responsibility. Players that are great characters to learn off, because when you have the youngest team there, you also have the most impressionable players. Signing players that are leaders behind the scenes and top professionals, it's a fantastic way to build a mentality around Arsenal Football Club." But on top of that, there's also so many reasons why Arsenal fans are excited and should be excited about this signing. But what exactly makes him so special? Well, let's go straight into the stats. Here is a stats dashboard of Zinchenko last season against all the fullbacks in the Premier League. And we're going to start off on the top left hand side. The passing numbers are near perfect. Another thing that stands out is that he is a fantastic progressive carrier. Defensively, there aren't that many standout numbers, but we'll get to that. But in terms of receiving the ball and creating chances, up there with the best fullbacks in the league when it comes to assists per 90 and shot creating actions. You don't have to be a genius to understand that what Arsenal are getting here is an elite technician. And yes, there are defensive deficiencies and he's not the best 1v1 defender, but there's also context to why his defensive numbers aren't outstanding. Playing for a Guardiola team, you're designed to keep the ball, not lose the ball. And there's a saying around Guardiola that his teams don't practice tackles because he's so good at keeping the ball. And that's exactly what Arsenal want to become. The important part is keeping the ball as much as possible. And when you have incisive passes like Zinchenko, Zinchenko, who are comfortable in playing under pressure. It will lead to Arsenal keeping the ball better, moving it better, making more chances, attacking better, scoring more goals, winning more games and gaining more 3 points. It sounds very simple on paper, but ultimately the increase in technical levels that Arsenal are going to get on the left hand side in terms of passing out of the back and controlling games. As the stats show there, we are getting one of the best fullbacks, not just in the Premier League but in the world. So yes, he has his flaws defensively, but Mikel Arteta is not signing a defensive left back. He is signing a number 10 playing a left back that will give Arsenal far more control of games and truly dominate games of football. But anyways, what are your own thoughts on Oleksandr Zinchenko? Let's give a gargantuan welcome to Arsenal. How excited are you about the signing, and do you think he now starts over Kieran Tierney? But after the signing of Zinchenko, Arteta confirms he wants more incomings. And my personal feeling is that Arsenal will look to sign at least 1 to 2 more players. But could one of the signings be Arteta? Well, according to Italian journalist Fabiana Della Valle, Arsenal wants to sign Arteta on a loan with the obligation to buy. Yes, Arteta is a player that Arsenal had definite interest in the January transfer window, but at that time it was made pretty clear that Arsenal wanted a short-term signing only until the end of the season, and it was actually confirmed by David Ornstein that Arsenal only wanted to sign the player on a straight loan, no option or obligation to buy. And that indicates that yes, they might like the player, but ultimately he's not a standout target, and definitely not a priority according to Fabrizio Romano, who says no, not at the moment. I see a lot of rumours, but I have no confirmation on Juventus' side, on Arsenal's side, and also on the player side. He was on the list in January, but now I feel they have different priorities. Different priorities indeed, but could one of those players be Youri Tielemans? Well, Fabrizio Romano says Arsenal is his priority. I would say it's a clear choice because the player would love to move. He would love to join Arsenal, but it's up to Arsenal to submit a proposal and go strong for him. He's waiting for Arsenal since April. I can't be the only Arsenal fan that's now starting to feel just a little bit sorry for Youri Tielemans. All the way from April, as according to Fabrizio, he's been patiently waiting for Arsenal to make their move. He's made it very clear that he wants Arsenal and Arsenal only, but for whatever reason Arsenal just don't want to make an offer. But as Ben Jacobs says, the longer the window goes, the more leverage that Arsenal have for Tielemans. There is now a sense that a departure is needed in midfield for a deal to happen. In midfield, there will definitely be departures with the likes of Lucas Torreira and Ainsley Maitland-Niles definitely leaving Arsenal in the summer transfer window. But in my personal opinion, do I think Arsenal will sign a Youri Tielemans, who can play as a number 8 in a midfield 3, but is more of a controller type of profile? I just think Zinchenko and Tielemans are of a similar profile, and I think if Arsenal are going to sign a number 8, it will be more of an attacking type of profile that will offer Arsenal more goals and assists in the final third. Fabrizio Romano, when asked on Arsenal's mystery winger target, says, I would love to tell you, but at the moment everything is under the radar. I will try to find out to tell you in the coming days. When Fabrizio Romano doesn't quite know what's happening, that's when you know that Arsenal are keeping their business as a top secret. But maybe that player is going to be PSV's Cody Gakpo, who according to Aaron Catterson-Reed of Football London, Arsenal are one of the several Premier League clubs interested in PSV winger Cody Gakpo. Gakpo is hugely admired by Arteta, and he is one of the names on the club's list of potential alternatives to Rafinha. I do like Cody Gakpo, and the fact that he got 13 assists in the Eredivisie last year. He is of a similar creative profile to Rafinha despite being more of a left winger, and hearing numbers like 25 goals and assists in just 22 starts, it's outrageous, but at the same time it was in the Eredivisie, which with all due respect isn't quite of the level of the Premier League. And in the past, when players have been signed from that league that are attackers that thrive there, the likes of Memphis Depay and even Steven Bergwijn have really struggled to convert those numbers. Moving on to the future of William Saliba. The excitement of Saliba was already massive coming from his loan spell at Marseille, but since playing games for Arsenal and showing the Arsenal fans in pre-season what he's made of, that excitement has gone through the roof. And it might just be pre-season, but you can see straight away the special player that Arsenal have here. He defends with such confidence and such authority. At just 21 years of age, in my eyes, it is a priority that Arsenal extend his contract. And it looks like Arsenal have done their business, as according to the reliable Freddie Paxton, it's his understanding that Saliba has already agreed a new deal to extend his Arsenal contract after positive talks before the US tour. Arsenal are pleased with his development and see him as an important part parts of the future. No word yet on when the official announcement is expected. And that has left me a very happy person, because I think we have to understand, looking at the current centre-back market, to see what Arsenal are getting here. William Saliba, who is the reigning Ligue 1 Young Player of the Year, a full French international. Just think about how much he'd cost in the current transfer market when you've got Lisandro Martinez, who's a good centre-back, going for 60 million euros. Arsenal have to ensure his future is at Arsenal Football Club, because we have a very special player on our hands. Even Arteta says on the contract, we always have a plan, and when we have to execute it, that's a different story, and football is a really funny game. We're really happy to have him, and you can see the way he's adapted, the way that he is matured, and he's playing well. The fact that in our last game we saw Ben White, Saliba and Gabriel playing the same team, as Arteta goes into the more inverted left back and right back, and the uncertainty around the fitness of Takehiro Tomiyasu, there is definitely a space for Saliba in this Arsenal starting lineup alongside White and Gabriel. My question to you guys is, what should be the Arsenal starting back four against Crystal Palace as Arsenal kick off the brand new Premier League season? Mikel Arteta, speaking on the outgoing, says, we have a big squad and now we have to make things happen. Arsenal are going to definitely have to sell quite a few players, and one of those players might be Bernd Leno. But according to Sky Sports News, Fulham are now interested in signing PSG goalkeeper Sergio Rico on loan. Fulham have been in talks with Arsenal over Bernd Leno, but the gap in valuation remains. Arsenal are playing hardball in this transfer, and rightly so. They want £15 million for a guy that has Premier League experience, that is a full German international, and Fulham only want to pay 10. And as Fabrizio Romano says, Arsenal are playing it really tough on the market when it comes to selling their players. They want to sell some players, but only at their conditions. Rightfully so, because I am sick and tired of Edu Gaspar turning into the Terminator and just giving away players that have contracts at the club and are assets that Arsenal could sell. Enough is enough. We have players like Torreira, like Bernd Leno, like Pablo Mari. They are players that are contracted to Arsenal Football Club, and if any other club wants to sign them, you come with a decent amount of money on the table and then we're going to negotiate. Fabrizio Romano on Nuno Tavares says, negotiations with Marseille are off since last week. News of a deal progressing are wide of the mark. Atalanta are still interested in signing him on loan. The talks are ongoing. Brighton have asked for conditions, but Atalanta are leading the race and are pushing this week. Tavares is a man in demand, which is low-key surprising, but at the same time, it means that Arsenal are able to negotiate a very good deal, and even if it is just a loan transfer, then get a very hefty loan fee. And after signing a left-back in Zinchenko, I don't see why Arsenal keep Tavares, and loaning him out to a club like Atalanta or Brighton that play wing-backs. Getting first-team experience elsewhere on a consistent basis, it is the best way for players to grow, so personally I am all for Tavares leaving on a loan transfer. And moving on to the other Arsenal news today, and starting off with the future of our star boy number 7, Bukayo Saka. According to the Mail, Arsenal have offered Bukayo Saka a new long-term contract that would see him become one of the club's best paid players. Arsenal, is understood, have now formally offered Saka an extension worth at least double his current £70,000 a week contract. As Fabrizio Romano has said time and time again, this is an Arsenal priority, and it definitely makes a lot of sense. Saka has become one of Arsenal's best players, and most importantly, has attracted interest of some of the best teams in Europe. So when you have the likes of Man City and even Liverpool reportedly monitoring, it is utmost important that Arsenal extend Saka's contract, give him the money that he wants, and make sure there is no way that any club can take our star boy. After the signing of Zinchenko, Arsenal have now spent £121 million, making them the highest spenders in the Premier League. The Arsenal owners are backing Mikel Arteta once again, and since Arteta's arrival, they have backed him time and time again, and yes, well, of course it improves our team, and for me I am more confident of a top 4 finish. It also increases the pressure on Mikel Arteta to deliver this season. But what are your own expectations of the Arsenal manager going into this season? Anyways, that's the video there and there, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and if you have, don't forget to smash a like and subscribe if you are new. If you would like to follow your boy on all of his social medias, then the links will be down below in the description. That was today's episode of the Transfers FC. 2 games left of pre-season and 2 weeks left until the start of Arsenal's Premier League campaign. Low-key, your boy's excited, but for now, welcome to Arsenal Oleksandr Zinchenko. Maybe a debut against Chelsea. They're gonna have to wait and see. Until then, take care of yourselves, and in a bit.